So tonight we're going to go over Ahimsa. Ahimsa is the first Yama, and the Yamas are the self-restraints of yoga philosophy. Ahimsa represents non-violence or non-harming. And of course, when we think of violence, we think of the grosser forms of violence like physical violence, physical harm. But violence can also be unkind words or unreasonable outbursts to ourselves or to others, So where does violence come from? Violence comes from fear, and there's two different kinds of fear. There's the healthy kind of fear, survival, and then there's the fear of the unknown, and also the fear of feeling out of sync can also cause us fear. So courage is the opportunity to turn fear of the unknown into courage, showing and practicing courage by embracing people or experiences that we would normally shy away from, giving us the opportunity to expand our worldview. Balance. We want to give ourselves space and give ourselves balance. It's different for all of us, and we have to turn inwards to observe ourselves and notice how we can create balance within. Self-love. Giving yourself self-love is the perfect way to combat harm towards ourselves. Violence towards ourselves. Judgment and expectations of ourselves can be forms of violence. So giving yourself acceptance is the truest form of self-love. Focusing on acceptance, loving yourself and not changing yourself. Also for others, supporting others and being present instead of trying to fix them, and trusting that they know what is best and what is right for them. And also compassion. We want to give every person compassion. Everyone is struggling in a different form, in different ways that we don't know about. So coming from a place of compassion and not judgment is the opposite of violence and harm. So how can we practice these? How can we practice Ahimsa on the mat? So starting in mountain pose. And we want to, let me just make sure I'm in the front there. Starting in mountain pose, and we'll take the Padma Mudra here, bringing the palms together, pinkies and thumbs touching, long fingers spread wide, imagining like a lotus flower rising from the muck. So we're going to inhale the arms up, coming into Padma Mudra. Take a nice deep breath, and then exhale, take it down to forward fold. Your forward fold. You can release the hands, and go ahead, you can heel toe or step the feet out wide, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Keep the hands dangling here, or take the hands to the opposite elbows or forearms, and let's give it a sway side to side. The upper body swaying side to side with your breath. One more breath, and then come back to stillness. Release the hands back to the mat, and we're going to pivot the toes to the right side of the mat, walking the hands towards the right foot, and all the way around, pivoting on the back left leg, coming into a high lunge. Now take your time coming up, adjust your stance as wide or as narrow as you like, and bring the hands back to that Padma Mudra, and then lift the hands up here. Take a nice deep breath, imagining yourself like a lotus flower, bringing in that self-love. Go ahead and release it back down, release the hands back to the mat, and we'll gently walk the hands back to center, bringing the toes to face the wide edge of your mat. Again, coming to that wide-legged forward fold. Take a breath there. And then pivoting the toes to the left side of the mat, walk the hands towards the left foot, picking that back right foot up on the toes, back heel lifted, coming to that high lunge on the other side. Take your time coming up. Bring the hands back to the Padma Mudra and lift them up towards the sky. Take a nice deep breath. And then release the hands down. Bring them back down to the mat. Walking it back to center, pivoting the toes back to face the wide edge of your mat. Let the head and neck relax here. Take a breath. And then you can step or heel toe the feet back in towards each other, coming back to a forward fold, your forward fold. Take a breath. And then gently, slowly roll it back up to mountain. Big breath at the top. You can bring the hands back to Padma Mudra, back to heart center. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. See how the body feels. Focusing on self-love this week. Accepting yourself, how you are, where you are. Take one more deep breath. Namaste, everyone. Thank you for joining me. And again, as some of you know, I've been recommending this book, The Yamas and the Niyamas by Deborah Liddell. I really love this book. Very good explanation of the Yamas and the Niyamas. And you don't have to be a yoga instructor to read this book or to have this book. It's very insightful, very encouraging, and gives you a detailed look at what the Yamas and Niyamas really are. So again, thank you for joining me. Take care, everyone.